If I make the suggestion that abuse from a woman might be tied to her gender, that it might relate specifically to her femininity, suddenly I'm the problem because I dare make that suggestion. Is that when I talk about this stuff, I'm the problem. Isn't that funny? I'm the misogynist. Masculinity gets demonized openly. Men get mocked, blamed, shamed, and any abuse that a man perpetrates is directly tied to their gender, and nobody flinches. Our society worships women and says that they can do no wrong. It doesn't care about male suffering, so men stay silent because they know nobody wants to listen. But the situation is worse than the statistics paint, because there are so many men out there who are in abusive relationships and they don't even realize.
Shut up, man. I'm not even done. You don't even let me have. I'm trying to tell you something. I think, and I'm not, I don't know 100%, but I think sometimes that will take the light and it actually reflects it. It makes your bathroom brighter.
I'm not painting it black.
You don't even let me finish. You just say no. No, you're done. Come on. It's one room. It's one freaking part of the house that is the smallest ceiling in the whole house, and you won't even let me do that?
The top 3 ways that I emasculated my ex-husband were control, criticism, and comparison. I controlled everything. I controlled our business. Anytime he tried to lead or work with employees, it was never good enough, which just leads into criticism. I criticized everything he did. Nothing he could do was good enough. And I was always comparing me to him. I was expecting me to be him, and I didn't allow him to be the man that he was because it wasn't enough for me. Comparison and perfection were my standard, and it completely destroyed his confidence, his desire to lead, his desire to show up. It completely shut him down, and I played a big part in that. Now, he chose to be shut down and he chose to not stand up. However, I played a big role in that, in emasculating my husband and making him not show up. And then I complained that he didn't show up and that he was apathetic and didn't do anything.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. We got to the biggest fight we've ever gotten into, ever, over our toilet water. You tell me if I'm overreacting, because I really don't think I am. Okay, so here's what happened. Every single time I go out of town, my husband's incredible. Like, I travel a lot for work. I come home. He's so great about cleaning the house, doing the laundry, keeping up with the kitchen. The house is always immaculate when I come home. Somehow this man got it into his head that, what would be really cool is if you put one of those giant blue hockey discs in the back of your toilet water so that every time you flush, the toilet comes out blue. The toilet water comes out blue. Like we live at a 7-Eleven or something. So I come home, I'm using, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, why is the water blue? And he's like, oh, I bought these things to put in the back of the toilet. I was like, what were you doing at the store? Looking at the aisle of all the things for cleaning items for the house where you thought that would be a good idea. Take me through that. He's like, you're making such a big deal. You're being so dramatic. I'm like, I am not being dramatic. So for a month, I'm flushing the toilet and it's still blue. And I'm complaining about it every day. I'm like, Nick, I can't live like this anymore. I cannot live with the blue toilet water. So literally, we're laying in bed the other night and I just go on TikTok, how do I empty the back of my toilet tank so I can, so that I can get rid of this blue water. I literally put in the search bar, how do I empty the back of a toilet tank? He gets up in a fury, oh my God, you're making such a big deal about this. When did you get so highfalutin? Blah, 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 blah. You've changed so much. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, changed so much. We live in a pretty nice neighborhood. It's 2024. What are you doing where you think this was a good idea? So that night, he emptied the toilet bowl somehow. I still don't know how to do it. And it's great. It looks good now.
My requirement is that you be a simp. That's what I need. That's what I want. The minute you switch up and stop being a simp is the minute that we won't talk anymore. If you like sleeping with me, it would be in your best interest to continue to simp. Okay? Because that is the only thing that I respond to. Worship me or...
Abuse has 3 distinct categories: human, male, and female. Human abuse is universal, like lying or cheating. It's done by both genders. Male abuse is what the culture loves talking about because it demonizes men and evokes sympathy for women. It's the pattern of the possessive man who isolates the woman, restricts her freedom, there's physical intimidation, there's sexual coercion. It's terrible and it's rightly condemned. Yet there is no such outrage or discussion or even acknowledgement of female abuse. Because when women abuse a man, it follows a specific pattern and it looks like this. This is a specific female style of abuse and it's rooted in feminine instinct. We need to talk about it because if we don't expose it, then predatory women are just going to keep getting away with it. Female abuse whips you so that you keep on performing, chasing promotions, burning out so that she can spend your money, control the house, and raise the kids without your interference. Step 1 is simple. Find a man who still believes the myth that all women are gentle, kind, and nurturing. That's the man that she targets, the guy who's never been warned. He doesn't know what's coming, and when he's saying his wedding vows and sees that smile on her face, he assumes it's from sweetness, from love. He has no idea that it's actually the smile of satisfaction that a predator gets knowing that prey has walked into its trap. Step 2 is to break his confidence. She nags, she insults, she disrespects, every word designed to grind you down. She wants to break you apart internally, make you feel so bad about yourself that you don't have the strength to stand up for yourself. She'll use a lot of guilt, make you feel like you're a villain and that you owe her. That way, when she demands more, you don't resist, you apologize. There's a reason why she keeps a list of your failures and shortcomings close at hand. It's because she is slowly conditioning you. Her goal is to erase your personhood and then make you an extension of her will, always serving her interests. And that's step 3, getting control over you. Bit by bit, she chips away at your sense of self until there's nothing left but obedience. It's so sad. You see this with couples sometimes where it's obvious that the man has been completely broken. He just follows her around like a lapdog. It's awful. And these women enforce their control by a dual use of threat and reward. First, she withholds intimacy, and this is not as a reaction. This is a strategy. Sexuality is important to men, and that's why it's a target. She shames your desires, she mocks your needs, and of course forbids you from seeking relief outside of the relationship. You're trapped. She knows how important sex is to you, and that's why it's so important for her to have that aspect of your life completely under her control.
If I'm around somebody and I start feeling like I need to keep doing things to prove my worth, that's an internal, big, flashing light warning. I'm dealing with someone who's probably fairly narcissistic. If you start feeling like you're in a reality distortion field internally, you're like, okay, that's a good indicator. If you start feeling like you're in doubt of your own worth around this person, that's an indicator. If you feel smaller rather than larger as a being around this kind of person, that's another indicator. If you start questioning in ways that are not constructive, but are kind of toxic for you, the justice, the worthiness in what it is that you're asking for, the legitimacy of what it is you're asking for, that's another clue. And also, I would say that if you feel like somewhat you're on eggshells with this other person and you need to placate them or kind of appease them to keep everything going on an even keel, that's another internal countertransferential clue, as it were, as well.
And now that you've been broken, her rules become clear. Obey, and I will be merciful. Resist me, and I will destroy you. And now you see that she never wanted a partner, she wanted a workhorse. That's step 4. She reveals what your actual worth is to her, and that's your labor. She doesn't want your companionship. She wants you to work. This isn't neglect, it's design. Financial abuse from a woman isn't some accident. It was always the plan. Your predetermined role was to fund her lifestyle. To these women, you are not a person. You are a wallet.
Most women are in relationships because they need the man financially. So when that's off the table, what am I depending on you?
My favorite pickup line from a guy is when they come up to you and they say, take down my number. And I'm like, jackpot. Absolutely, I'll take down your number. Like, thank you so much for giving it to me. and they proceed to read 10 digits. And I'm like, you're missing a few. And they look at me confused. And I'm like, is this not your credit card number? And they're like, no, this is my phone number. And I'm like, why the fuck would I want your phone number? And they look at me all confused.
Even if I were to be engaged or have a man, like, you need to go to work every single day. Like, I don't want you in my space all the time. You also need to have your own bathroom. I just have a lot of requirements.
One is that you need to be making at least 130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles. If you cannot make 130K or more, then you are out of my league. How do you expect to give me money for my kids if you only make 50K a year? You have to have at least 3 cars under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. Oh, I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm gonna bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So that's why I require you to have an SUV and a vehicle of your own if you're gonna be dating me. Another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. Have to get a home that has 6 rooms because each of my kids have to be in their own room.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out. But I am not gonna cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry.
Her ideal setup is that you leave the house, work yourself to death to make her rich, and then you crawl back home hoping for just like a little pat on the head, a little affection, a little softness, maybe even sex if you've been good. That's her game. She dangles intimacy in front of you like a prize, a carrot to keep the donkey moving. And if rewards don't work, then she has threats to keep you in line. Women know the cultural script that men are dangerous, the women are victims, and every abusive woman knows how to weaponize it. Step 6 is she wants the house to herself. Your existence is a nuisance and she only tolerates it because of the money that you generate for her. During the day, be a traditional man, earn the money. After work, be a modern man, help with the chores. She treats you like a burden, even though she's living off your labor. She's not a homemaker, she's a home occupier, and that was her plan all along. Find a man who is weak enough to bully into submission so that she can live a comfortable life enabled by his financial slavery. And if he dares ask for some respect or dignity or kindness, she plays her trump card, the kids. Parental alienation is a nuclear option, but abusive women reach for it without any hesitation. Mothers whispering into the ears of their children, "Dad's never around. He doesn't love you like I do. He mistreats me." She wants to punish you, and she knows that your children are where you're most vulnerable. You probably didn't know that there was a separate category of female abuse, or that it follows a reasonably predictable pattern, or that it's premeditated and calculated, that many women find a man specifically with this plan in mind.
Filipinos, there's really no age gap.
No, we don't really care about age up here.
But it's not like, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's like no age gap.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones that I've come across are just looking for a good man that's going to treat them well.
Yes.
And love them and cherish them. And when people say it's about the money, they want your money. Well, honestly, I kind of see it as a symbiotic relationship where she's looking for stability, excellent word. She's looking for just a better life, okay? And he wants a pretty girl,